I used to think that it was extremely difficult to take talents or gifts or skills that I had and develop them into becoming a superpower. And that was until I discovered different tips and tactics and tools that I could use to help develop my gifts to become superpowers. Now, in turn, I founded what's called the Giver Method. My name is Jake Talbert, and I'm the founder and chief giver at the Giver Method and Impact Makers. So what I like to do is share those tools with you so that you yourself can become a giver yourself. You can find the ways to take your gifts, make them be superpowers, and find how to give them to the right people at the right time, delivering value without asking for anything in return. And so today, what I want to talk about is one of the biggest exercises you can do that helps you to grow in your gifts and superpowers, and seeing how it is that you're using them in a daily and a weekly basis. Now, many times throughout my book and throughout a lot of the resources, videos I do, I talk a lot about self-reflection and the importance of self-reflection that is a part of your personal development, whether it be personal, professional, whatever that may be. We have to take the time to look back and see, what have we done? Let's play back that game film and see what are we going to be doing next. All right? So the thing I would recommend that you do is that you start to keep a journal. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you're journaling daily and that you're doing some larger reflections, probably weekly. And the reason being is you're going to want to be able to look back and kind of review through, well, what were the things that worked? What didn't work? How would that, show up for you? Now, I have a resource. You can get it down in the description. Where it has a layout for a daily journal and for a weekly reflection. And you can do it digitally. You can print as many versions of it as you want for as many days as you want, but it gives a rundown of what to cover in your daily journal and your weekly reflection. So I'd love to cover some of those points with you. So stick around. If you want to go get the resource, go get the resource. You can always come check us out at thegivermethod.com for additional details. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow. Go check us out on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, LinkedIn, all the places, okay? So let's talk about the daily journal. And I want to cover what are some of those areas that you want to make sure that you are diving into in your daily journal. Now, naturally, with any journal, you're going to want to put in your date, put in what day of the week it was, and you could jot down a couple of quick bullet points of the highlights of the day. You don't need to write out big paragraphs here. Just, I went into work, I was able to talk with these clients, I got home, took care of my boys, watched TV with my wife. Done. Like just some bullet points there so that you can remember, oh yeah, that day maybe there's something unique that stood out from that day. Then you're going to have a section that you're going to reflect on and say, okay, now today, how did I develop myself? How did I develop my gifts and superpowers? And list out a couple of things. If you can't, then that's a goal you should probably set for tomorrow, is finding the ways to use them. But I would say list out a couple of ways that you found that you used your gifts and superpowers today. Okay? What's important there is what was the outcome? So pay attention to, I used my superpower, I used my ability to help break down complex situations or problems for people in their business and help them to identify, and I did that with so-and-so, and the outcome was that we had a clear path forward of what we were going to do and how we were going to go implement that into their technology, blah, blah, blah. This is just an example, clearly. It felt amazing that this person, they saw such clarity and they were so grateful for what that had done for them. So think about it from that perspective. How did it feel? What did I learn? Whatever that may be. Okay? So we now have our date, the days, how you use your gifts and superpowers. The next section is going to be all about your daily wins. And so you need to reflect back and say, well, what were the wins from today? Now, they don't have to be necessarily directly related to the superpower or your gift, but maybe it's a daily win of, I went out and I found this person I know who needed some additional help, and here's how I was able to go and help them. I discovered that people are referring to me that I can do X, Y, Z. Great. Go ahead and do that. Put that down. It's a win that I'm possibly discovering new superpowers. I'm finding new ways I can apply it to people. I'm finding new ways that I gave people value. It could even be the outcomes that come from being a giver and an impact maker are Like the first one we cover in the book is called relationship results, or people refer to as relationship riches, like improved relationship with my spouse, improved relationship with my kids, my, parents, my siblings, my friends, my coworkers, whatever it may be. It also could be like business wise. I got these referrals out of nowhere because I've been giving with my superpower and people are enjoying that. The next piece that you're going to look at there when it comes to daily wins is the bigger picture. When you become a giver and an impact maker, is that you are inviting the universe to pay you back in ways that you aren't expecting. And so if you notice what those are, put those down as your daily wins. How did the universe pay me back today? And I'm sure that if you look closely every single day, you'll find that if you continue to become a giver and develop to become an impact maker. All right? Now, the next piece is going to be, you're going to focus on challenges that you faced. You're going to look at any sort of learnings from the day. There's going to be a portion that you want to identify self-care. So as we develop, we oftentimes can get down. We can have things, start to be demotivating if we're not seeing the success or the results that we want. That's with any goal. That's with any time that you're developing yourself. That could happen. So identify what are the ways that you can practice self-care and then reflect on that. It may be that you want to go, you're developing, you did these wins, so I'm going to go out to dinner tonight, or I'm going to go shopping, or I'm going to spend a little bit of time doing this activity, whatever it may be. But put down whatever the practice may be, and then once again, reflect on how it felt throughout that day. And then, of course, the last section from a daily journal perspective would be feedback. So what feedback or support did you receive throughout the day that you could use to improve yourself? Now, if you're doing that daily, you're going to start to notice all sorts of crazy trends that happen for you, things that start to improve, things that start to stand out, and you go back and look at them. Now, that's why there's also great, at the end of the week, you're going to do a weekly reflection where you can go back through the 7 days of journals and you're going to start to identify these weekly reflections. So I like to do the weekly reflection by looking at what are my favorite moments from the week? What were the biggest learnings from the week? And then any insights, things to take away. And then I'm going to break those things down and say, great, well, weekly accomplishments were this, this, and this. I wish I'd done blank differently, whatever that may be. Next week, I plan to do more blank. And then, of course, set very specific goals for yourself. You'll find that that reflection helps you to then look at the way that this next week you can be more intentional with what you're doing and how you can develop yourself continuously to develop your gifts and superpowers so that you can learn to give them to other people more. Believe me that for a long time, I didn't do any sort of a journal or a reflection or put down my thoughts and go back and do self-reflection. And it wasn't until I learned certain exercises that helped me to do that started to let me see maybe where things are possible for me, or maybe where things in my past have happened that I don't want to happen again. And so there's a lot of ways of doing that. Like I said, you got your daily journals, your weekly reflections. If you want, once again, down in the description, I'm going to have a link where you can go and you can actually get access to my versions of what a daily reflection and a weekly journal are. They're absolutely amazing. They will make a huge impact. You can print them, you can use them, whatever it may be, or you could just go get yourself some lined paper and add the pieces we discussed as a part of that. I promise that as you do that, you're going to continue to develop. You're going to continue to see your gifts become superpowers. You're going to find more opportunity of how you can use them and provide value to people. And once again, that means you're inviting the universe to pay you back, which, gosh, I wish we all had that. We all could use more of that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, once again, like, subscribe, follow, whatever. Go check us out on all the other social medias, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it may be. You can feel free to check out thegivermethod.com for more information. And outside of that, have a great rest of your day.